Tales of Estolia. Written by Sashina Kerfman. Volume 1. The Promise of Zacharias. Part 6. Prophecy. Chapter 14. Ultimate Connection.
One aspect of the exchange is the way it facilitates communication between two spouses. Many individuals in the Western world marry for the wrong reasons, often at a time that is not optimal for marital happiness and growth. Few relationships can withstand this handicap. Even couples that marry for all the right reasons, with an abiding true love, can still find themselves teetering on the verge of dissolution if they allow miscommunication to flourish and grow as an obstacle to their happiness. The profound wisdom of deity in granting Estolians a near telepathic connection via the keeping of the soul eliminates nearly all of the difficulties that can sour a marriage. It would, of course, be simplistic to say that every marriage is free of discord, but the destructive, acidic deterioration of marriages common to other nations doesn't exist in Estolia. Dominic Zakarian, Essay on Love.
Estolia was a wondrous land more marvelous than the most extraordinary fairy tale. She and Nico fit perfectly together. Their hearts melded, their minds met, and their souls fused. The cries that burst from both were harmonious, synchronized, bursting from both, accompanying the waves of pleasure pulsing through them. Deity brought them together, helped their souls merge, two parts to a whole that always belonged together. For a moment she had a vision of the future, his warm eyes still sharp, clear, lively and intelligent, surrounded by the wrinkles and marks of age. He pulled her close against him, pillowing her head on his chest. The sound of his heart augmented her vision of the future, and she imagined how it would feel to fall asleep with the sound of his heartbeat in her ear, every night for a lifetime. Happiness and peace flooded her soul.
I love you, Kenzie, with every particle of my soul, every ounce of my body, every iota of the self within me.
He warned her.
We will be visited by my brother, my father, and my uncle.
Their clothing was scattered on the floor. With a feeling of freedom, she slipped out of the bed, naked, and began picking up the clothing.
Lift your arms,
he whispered behind her. She did so, and he settled a beautiful nightgown over her. She smoothed it into place and then turned to look at him. He was wearing a bathrobe. Somewhere in the palace, the same clock began to chime the half hour. The chimes were still echoing when a knock on the door was followed by it opening. Zeke, Leon, and Isaiah all came into the room. While they approached, Nico pulled Kenzie back against his body, his hands splayed over her abdomen.
What say you, Nicodemus Luciano Zakarian?
Zeke asked. His expression was solemn.
Kenzie O'Rourke has taken my soul securely within her keeping,
Nico stated. Zeke stepped closer, his eyes meeting Kenzie's.
My nephew claims he has taken your purity, and as a result, he has placed his soul securely within your keeping. What say you, Kenzie O'Rourke?
In exchange for my purity, I have taken Nico's soul into my keeping.
The words just seemed to come to her. Zeke smiled at her, and she sensed how pleased he was.
I believe it is in your best interest to go now, tonight, to the seclusion suite.
She shrugged into a robe like Nico's, and Zeke led them towards the end of a long hallway.
When my grandfather shattered both of his legs,
he explained as they went along,
his brother, the king, had our smallest tower converted into a combination elevator, library, and staircase. Very little work was necessary. This will take us to the stable level and cuts the journey to the temple almost in half, since the stable level is halfway down the side of the mountain.
Kenzie only barely heard what Zeke was sharing with her. She felt like everything she was seeing and feeling was done for the first time, as if there was a close connection between Nico and herself, growing in strength and durability. What mattered was that she was with Nico now, and would be with him for their entire lives, until time ceased to be.